There we go. Okay, I'm rolling. Okay, so when I teach, one complaint that I get when I teach is that I go too fast. Okay, well, we're down to 30 minutes, and I know this lesson is 30 minutes because I looked at the video from last year. Okay, so I have to get through what I'm doing. Okay. By the way, open your workbooks, and we're on lesson 1. So what you can see in your workbook is what you can see right here, okay? In addition, there's a calendar in the front of your workbook. I will not budge from that calendar. That will be the calendar. So right now, you know where every test is, when every quiz is, and you can go through and figure that out. Yes, sir? Can I get a workbook? No. Yeah, you can. They're in that box right there, okay? Okay, so anyway, when we're taking notes, what I want you to be is actively involved, okay? If you fall asleep during the lesson, I will wake you up, okay? It's just going to happen. You got to know it. If you're not going to take notes, I'm probably going to call you out. You need to be actively involved. I'm going to ask you questions. I want you to shout the answers out, okay? I like shouting out during the lesson. I know it's weird, but I just want you to feel comfortable. By the way, no one's ever going to make fun of you in this class. Ever. Okay? I certainly will never. And if I ever see anybody treating anyone in a rude manner, I will stop that immediately. So I want you to know that this is a safe place. Nobody will make fun of each other. We're all going to make mistakes. Okay, here we go. Absolute value. Okay, so the definition of absolute value, okay, write this down for me, okay? It's how far a number is away from 0 on the number line. Okay? How far a number is away from 0 on the number line. So if you have the absolute value of x equals 3, okay, let's draw a picture of that. So you put a 0 right in the center, okay, and then you're going to go to the left 3 and to the right 3. And if you go like this, from 0 to 3, that's 3 units away. And from 0 to negative 3 is also 3 units away. So that's why if you have the equation, the absolute value of x equals 3, then the answers are 3 and negative 3. That's because those are 3 units away. So you might know, oh yeah, you do the positive and negative, but maybe you don't remember it's a distance. That's why it's always positive, because there's no such thing as a negative distance. Okay. Solve each absolute value equation. So I'm going to give you steps, okay? Step number 1, isolate the absolute value. Step number 2, split it. Step number 3, solve it. 3 easy steps. Okay, let's apply them to example 1. Example A, is the absolute value alone? I want everybody to talk to me. Just, it'll be like quick, quick, quick. Is it alone, yes or no? Yes. Yes, it is. Thank you. So step number 1 is done. Step number 2 is to split it in 2. Now freeze for 2 seconds and look right here. Don't do this to yours. But if I scribbled that out, if you didn't see that x in the negative 3, what number could I put in that absolute value box to make the statement true? Somebody tell me, just shout it out. Negative 4 and also positive 4, right? So now what we're going to do is we're going to split it in half. So we're going to say, okay, that inside stuff, x minus 3 could be 4, or x minus 3 could also be a negative 4. Now you pull the 3 over and it becomes a positive, so you get x equals 7. And then we're going to put a comma, bring the 3 over that way. It becomes a positive, you get x equals negative 1, and that's what you highlight. Those of you who do this, look, this plus 3, cancel, get your 7, plus 3, cancel, get your negative 1. You don't have to do that. If you feel uncomfortable, if you don't do that, then do it, because I want you to be successful. But you don't have to, and I almost would kind of prefer you not. But if you want to, go ahead. Okay, stay right with me. Don't go ahead of me. Okay, everybody talk to me. Is the absolute value alone, yes or no? No. No. So what do we need to do? Move the 2, right? So now you have the absolute value of 3 minus x is equal to 7 subtract 2 is 5. Is step 1 done? Yes, it's alone. So what do? Now you split it. So now you're going to go 3 minus x is 5, or 3 minus x is negative 5. Okay, let's deal with this guy on the left. Move your 3 over. So now you have negative x equals 2. Change your signs. X equals negative 2. Put a comma. Over here, bring your 3 over. It becomes a negative. So negative x equals negative 8. Change your signs. X equals 8. That's what you highlight. Okay. And of course, just clarification, if you put x equals negative 2 comma 8, that's exactly the same thing. Both those are both acceptable. Okay. All right. Here is question C. You guys talk to me. Is the absolute value alone, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, it's all alone. There's nothing over on that left-hand side but the absolute value, so it's totally alone. It's isolated. Okay. Now I split it. So I'm going to go x to the second minus 25 equals 0, or x to the second minus 25 equals, this is weird. There's no such thing as negative 0. That's okay. If you have a 0, you're only going to have one split, so that's not even going to be there. Okay. Now, there's a couple of ways to do this. You do it however you want. I don't think there's a right or wrong way. I prefer to move my 25. If anybody else wants to factor, then factor. It doesn't matter. You're going to get the same answer. Okay. So I'm going to go x squared equals 25, and then I'm going to square root it. Here's the risky part. X equals 5. That's wrong. Because when you square root, you have to, everybody tell me, it's the plus or minus, right? Why is it plus or minus? Because 5 squared is 5 times 5, that's 25. Negative 5 squared, that's a negative 5 times a negative 5, that's also 25. Okay? They're both the same. Make sure you stick right with me, okay? Don't go ahead of me, okay? Please. Okay. Everybody tell me, is step 1 done, yes or no? Yes, absolute values alone, right? So now we split it. So you go 2x plus 1 over 3x plus 4 equals 1. And then you go 2x plus 1 over 3x plus 4 equals negative 1. You guys, look at this. Freeze for 2 seconds. Look at this stuff inside the absolute value. Look at this stuff right here. Did I ever change that? Tell me that. Never changed it. So it's the same on the right and it's the same on the left. The only thing that changes is the number. Okay, here's how I want you to get out of this. I want you to put a 1 underneath the 1, and I want you to cross multiply. The sooner I can get you to recognize the easiest way to do that is cross multiply, the smoother this is going to go, because we'll cross multiply a ton in here. Okay, so 3x plus 4 times 1 is 3x plus 4. 1 times 2x plus 1 is 2x plus 1. So all I did is just cross multiply. Okay? Bring your 2x over, it becomes a negative. So now I have x plus 4 equals 1. Because 3x minus 2x leaves me 1x over there on the left. The 4 comes over to the other side, and I get x equals negative 3, and I'm done with that one. Okay, let's do the same thing over here. Put a 1 underneath. Okay, now I want you to talk to you about something. Everybody freeze right here for just a second. Okay, everybody freeze. Negative 1 over 1. 1 over 1 with a negative in front of it. 1 over negative 1. Look at those three things. Are they the same or are they different? They're all the same. Which one is the safest, do you think? And the way I always want you to do it so you can get it right. Which one? Number 1, number 2, or number 3? Talk to me. Number 1, for sure. Yes, honey. Oh, good. Yes, you're right. Good girl. Number 1. Good job. Okay, so the top one is negative. The bottom one is positive. Let's go with it. Okay, so 3x plus 4 times negative 1. Just change those signs. Negative 3x minus 4. 2x plus 1 times 1 is 2x plus 1. I always move the variable to the left. So this 2x comes over there. I get minus 5x. Now I'm going to do 2 steps in 1. If this freaks you out, then don't do it. Okay? 2x comes over and becomes a negative, you got a negative 5x. 4 comes over and becomes a positive, you got a 5. I'm okay with that. Divide by negative 5, you get x equals negative 1. Pull it over there, highlight your answer, done. Who says this is easy? Raise your hand, let me see. Do a big raise up. Okay, you got to give me lots of feedback, okay? Lots and lots and lots of feedback. Okay, here we go. Example 2. I want you to star this guy. This is a problem that will be good news for you that this has appeared on a midterm and or a final. I think what I'm going to do, guys, is when we have a day where I'm not like shoving things down your throat, I'm going to have you go through the workbook and tell you what problems to highlight that I think will be on the midterm and what problems to highlight that I think will be on the final. So when we get to it, you can be like, oh, this is like going to be an important one. This is an important one. Okay. Consider this equation. What is the valid first step? It's so easy. What's the first thing you do? Everybody talk to me. Just move your 2 over, right? So then the result would be the absolute value of x plus 5 is equal to 8. And literally that would be your option. It's a multiple choice, but that would be the correct option. Okay. Okay. This came up. So these couple of things in this workbook or in this lesson are new from what I've done before. This is one. The last example was one. This is something you need to know, and we'll use this U a lot. It just translates to the word or. Okay. So if you put an or if you have a U, it's the same thing, but there's only sometimes that you can use the U. Let's actually put that right here. Let's put interval up above that. So the only time you're going to use the U and is when it's an interval and then the same thing here. So this upside down means and. Okay. All right. Absolute value inequalities. So here's the deal. People mess up on these. They just mess up on these. So the best thing you can do, I'm telling you right now, straight up, 100%, for sure, the best thing you can do is to memorize these steps and follow the steps. Okay? Okay, make the inequality, oh man, these are flip-flopped. Go like this, flip-flop 1 and 2. So first you have to get it alone. Then you have to make it an equal sign. Then you split it and solve it and graph it and then write your answer. Okay, let's go ahead and do it. Number 1, isolate it. Done. This option 1. Number 2, make it an equal sign. Okay, so we're going to go the absolute value of x equals 3. Then you're going to split it. So that would be x equals 3, comma, negative 3. Now over here, you're going to go negative 3. Over here, you're going to go positive 3. Do you see how on that inequality, guys, do you see how there's no equal sign? So if you have a less than or a greater than, your circle's going to be open. If you have a less than equal to or a greater than equal to, your circle's going to be closed. Okay? We don't have an equal sign, so our circles are going to be opened. Okay? Now here's what you have to remember. Less than. Everybody listen to this. This is the reason people mess it up. Okay? If your symbol is a less than or a less than equal to, everybody listen and look. Here's your 0. Where on the number line is the distance from 0 less than 3? Less than 3 units away from the 0. Is it here, less than 3 units away, or is it here? You tell me. Is it yellow or is it green? Yellow. It's yellow. Okay, that's easy, right? So everybody do the inside like that. Okay, so everybody go less than equal to, and I want you to write inside. And then we're going to go negative 3 with a parenthesis to 3 with a parenthesis. Why did we use parentheses? Because we don't have an equal sign. If we have an equal sign, we'll use brackets. That's your answer. Okay? Okay, let's do the next one. Step 1, get it alone. Done. Step 2, make it an equal sign. Absolute value of x equals 3. Next step, split it. X equals 3 or negative 3. Next step, go to the number line. Negative 3 and 3. You guys talk to me so I know that you understand. Are your circles right here supposed to be open or closed? Open. Tell me why open again. There's no equal sign, right? So we're going to go open circles. Now I want the distance from 0 to be more than 3. I want it to be the distance from 0 to be far away from the 0. Okay, so there or there. You tell me, pink or yellow? Yellow. Okay, so highlight the outside. Write a note right here that if it's greater than or greater than equal to, you shade the outside. Okay, and then your answer in interval form is negative infinity and negative 3 with a parenthesis. And now we're going to do that u. What does u mean? Or from 3 to infinity. And that's what you're going to highlight right there. That's your final answer. Okay? All right, now we're going to roll with these. I got to see how many we have. Okay, I can make it. It's going to be kind of fast, but I can make it. Okay, here we go. So hang with me. Okay? Step 1, get it alone. Done. Step 2, make it an equal sign. So the only thing you do is you make that an equal sign. I've still got those symbols. Okay? Now, step number 3, you're going to split it right here where it says split. Okay? Write a note to yourself that says drop absolute value. Do not drop that until you split it. That's a big mistake people make. Okay? So we've got it right here, maybe, as an equal sign. And now we're going to split it and drop it. So 2x minus 5 could be 3, or 2x minus 5 could be negative 3. Now let's solve those. Okay, everyone stick with me. So if you're not writing, I know you've gone ahead of me and I don't want you to do that. You're going to have plenty of time to do that on your own. 5 comes over, 2x equals 8. Divide by 2, x equals 4. Solve this guy. 2x equals, 5 comes over and becomes a positive. You have a 2. Divide, x equals 1. Those are your critical numbers, okay? Go to your number line. Put your 1. Put your 4. Someone tell me, everybody tell me, open circles or closed circles? Closed. Closed circles. So let's make some nice, clearly closed circles right on that number line. Now, in or out? Tell me. Out. See this greater than? Out. Right there. There's your number line. Okay? Interval notation is the easiest, and it is most of the time that's what you're going to have to do. So that's good. So let's skip down here to the interval notation. So it goes to the left forever, negative infinity to 1. Everything's, oh, that 1 is supposed to be closed with a, tell me everybody, with a bracket. Why a bracket? Because it's closed, right? Then I'm going to do a U. I'm going to pick it back up at a 4, and I'm going to go to infinity, like that. Okay, there's another notation that you need to know, and it's called set builder, okay? It's not scary. Here's what you do. Okay, make your brace. You do a brace. And then you write X, and then you do a vertical line. That vertical line means such that, okay? Inside of set builder notation, you have to put inequality. See this interval form? It never goes inside a set builder. It's always inequality in there. So to the left of the 1 would mean x is less than 1. Now I have to put an equal sign with it. Okay? And then we're going to put a comma. And then we're going to say x is greater than or equal to 4. And then we're going to close it off. Okay. Okay, I want you to erase the comma. This got really weird. This got really weird last semester. I can't see my pen. There we go. This got really weird last semester when we met with Weber. I'm just going to say let's put an or right there. Okay, if it ends up being anything other than an or, I'm going to let you know. We had this big like fight over what you're supposed to do in there. Okay, question B, step 1. Should I divide by 2 as my step 1? No. What do? Move your 5, right? So you have 2 times the absolute value of x minus 7 is less than 13 minus 5 is 8. Is that right? 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yes. Is step number 1 done?
No.
What do? Divide by 2. So I have the absolute value of x minus 7 is less than 4. Okay. Write a note to yourself over here and write down not, draw an arrow, x minus 7 less than 4. Big mistake that people make right there is they drop the absolute values right there. No, they're not dropped. They don't get dropped until what step? Tell me what we do when they get dropped. Yay, you split. Now let's make it an equal sign. So x minus 7 equals 4. Now we split it. X minus 7 equals 4, or x minus 7 equals negative 4. Move your 7, x equals 11, comma, move your 7, x equals 3. Number line, 3 on the left, 11 on the right. This is where I look. Look right here. Once your absolute value is isolated right there where I highlighted, that's where you look to see inside outside, not the beginning. It's at that step, okay? So I don't have an equal sign, so my circles are going to be opened. And it's a less than 0, less than 4 units away from 0. In or out? What's less than? Less than's close, right? So it's in. That's easy. Okay, interval notation, 3 to 11, both with parentheses. Set notation, you have to have a brace. You have to have x such that. Now I'm going to show you a little trick. Do you see how we shaded one region and we have one interval? We're also going to have just one inequality in there. So if it's one region, it's all 1. If it's 2, it's all 2. So 3 to 11, this is how you write it. You go 3 is less than x, is less than 11, close it off. Okay, next one. I know I'm pushing and I'm sorry. Okay, next step, move your 7. So you have the absolute value of 2 minus 3x is greater than or equal to 5. 7 comes over and becomes a negative. Now it's alone, so you make it an equal sign. I don't want you to skip that step. Now that it's an equal sign, now you split it and drop those symbols. So it's 2 minus 3x equals 5, or 2 minus 3x equals negative 5. Now let's solve those. So move your 2. Negative 3x equals 3. Divide. X equals negative 1. Over here, negative 3x equals negative 7. Divide. X equals 7 over 3. Negative 7 over negative 3 is a positive 7/3. Negative 1's on the left. 7/3 is on the right. This is where I look right here, right before I set it to an equal sign to decide in or out. Greater than means out. I do have an equal sign, so I'm going to do a closed circle. Greater than is out, so it looks like that. Interval form, negative infinity to negative 1, closed with a, talk to me everybody. Bracket or parenthesis? Bracket, and then your u, and then 7/3 with a bracket to infinity with a parenthesis. Yes, sir?
Does it matter which one you put first?
It does.
Okay.
It does. You always go from the left to the right. Thank you for the question. Okay, set builder is going to be a brace, and then an x such that 2 shaded regions, so 2 inequalities. So it's x is less than or equal to negative 1, or x is greater than or equal to 7/3, close your bracket. Okay? All right. This one right here. Absolute values alone. Next step, make it an equal sign. So everybody go 4x plus 1 over 2 equals 4. Next step, split it. 4x plus 1 over 2 equals 4, or 4x plus 1 over 2 equals negative 4. Put a 1 underneath the 4 and a 1 underneath the negative 4, and I want you to cross multiply your way out of that. 4x plus 1 times 1 is 4x plus 1. 4 times 2 is 8. Move your 1 over. 4x equals 7. Divide. X equals 7/4. Do the other one. Cross multiply. 4x plus 1 equals negative 8. Move your 1. 4x equals negative 9. Divide. X equals negative 9/4. Okay, go to your number line. Negative 9 over 4. Positive 7 over 4. I don't have an equal sign, so my circles will be opened. Greater than, you tell me guys, in or out? Out. That's the big kicker. That's what people mess up on. Right there. Okay? Interval notation is the easiest. I always do it first. Negative infinity to negative 9/4. Close with that. Talk to me, everybody. Is that parenthesis or is that bracket? It's a parenthesis. And then a U. This is not the correct U. Look. The U does not have a tail. It's not like the letter U. It's a symbol. Okay? And then this is 7/4 to infinity. Okay? Set notation. Brace. X such that. Someone tell me how many inequalities I'm going to have in there. 2, because I have 2 regions, right? So it's going to be x is less than negative 9/4, no equal sign, or x is greater than 7/4, close your bracket. Okay, next one. Is it alone? No. 1/3 is so bad. How do I get rid of the 1/3? Multiply by 3. So I'm going to multiply this guy by 3 and this guy by 3. So I have the absolute value of x plus 2 is less than or equal to 12. Now it's alone. Make it an equal sign. Absolute value of x plus 2 equals 12. Now I split it. X plus 2 equals 12, or x plus 2 equals negative 12. Move the 12 or move the 2 over, x equals 10. Move the 2 over, x equals negative 14. Okay? Left-hand side, negative 14. Right-hand side, positive 10. I do have an equal sign, so they're going to be closed. Less than or equal to, you tell me, what is it? In, right? Less than's in. Okay, interval form, one interval, negative 14 with a bracket to 10 with a bracket. Set builder, brace, x such that. Inequality form always goes inside. Negative 14 is less than or equal to x, is less than or equal to 10. Close it off, and we're good. Okay, last example. Name all of the ways to write the intervals marked on the number line below. Put stars around this. This is new. This was on the midterm or the final. That's why I added this in. Okay, so there are 2 acceptable ones, and you would have to mark both of those on the correct thing. So it would be from negative infinity to negative 3, close with a bracket, and then a U, and then it would be 4, close with a parenthesis, to infinity. Okay. The only change to the other one, guys, it's exactly the same, but instead of a U, they put in the word or. Okay. So this was a multiple choice question. There were like 5 options. You had to choose both of those options to get the answer correct. Don't do it like number 2 when you're with me. I just really would like you to do number 1, but I need you to understand that they both work. Okay, everybody freeze for 2 seconds. Yes?
So the only time we use the brackets is when the circle's filled in, right?
Correct. Yes. Tell me your name.
Sam.
Okay, so Sam, you're the bomb, because how silly to like sit here and not know and then you're like, I wish I knew, but I was too afraid to ask my teacher. I'm not scary, and nobody's going to ever laugh at you. So why not understand? So you're the mom, okay? Okay, everybody freeze. Don't move yet, okay? See where it says page 138. Where does that come from? The green book that's in your backpack. You don't do all of page 138. You only do those problems that are listed, okay? The odds are in the back of your book. I expect you to check them. I'm never going to read the answers to the odds. That's your responsibility. And if you're not willing to work hard and flip back and check if you're right, then you might be doing your homework all wrong, and there's nothing I can do about that, okay? Okay, so before